Welcome inside the kennel, the heartbeat of the dog game, where real breeders break down real experiences, and the experts drop the knowledge you can't Google. We talking structure, bloodlines, nutrition, training, wins, losses, and everything that makes champions in and out of the ring. This is for the ones who live it, breathe it, and build it, one lit at a time. Your host, Kevin, Ben, and Roderick. Lock in.
All right, Benny Hood here with Inside the Kennel, and I'm on the phone. I have Roderick and our guest this week, which is Mr. Blake Ashmore. He's a dog breeder, been one for a long time, and he's pretty popular on the internet for all sorts of reasons. I'll let him explain. How you doing there, Blake?
Yes, sir. I'm doing well. How are y'all doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I got no complaints. I found it don't do any good to complain.
Yeah, man. There's nothing you can do about having a bad day. That's for sure. You just try to smile and walk on through it.
I hope tomorrow's better. Well,
Yes, sir. Well,
Well, go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience, all 17 people. It's like how long you been breeding, and maybe your favorite breed, what you specialize in, and what other stuff you got your hands in.
well. I've been breeding since man. I've been breeding. My son's 9, and I started breeding probably right after he was born. So I've been breeding about 8 years. I would say the first 2 years were kind of scatter breeding, trying to learn what the hell I was doing and spending my life savings on. But
That
but
sounds
other than that,
familiar. I'm gonna be. That's a very familiar theme.
yeah, no, it definitely is. My wife looked at me one day and said, "What the hell are you doing?" When I first started out, I got a dog for free from a homeboy of mine's baby mama's brother that bred these exotics. And later on down the road, I called him and said, "Hey, man, how much for the papers?" I said, "You said 300, right?" But I knew he said 500 because I was broke at the time. So I paid 300 for papers and started breeding dogs, literally. Um, I had no idea what I was doing. I took the dog to a guy to do a put back, and I left my dog with a complete stranger, and he let the dog lock up with my dog multiple times. She was a little pocket exotic female, and I had a litter of 10, I think, and she had them all natural in my guest bathroom. Right there on the floor, we stayed up from 2 a.m. to 7 a.m. and pulled out each puppy, broke the sacks, and that's how I fell in love with the breed. I always wanted a bully,
Well, they
and when I
tricked
got
you.
him,
They tricked you on that. They gave you the easy way out. Like you got the dog for free, papers for cheap, and she
yep.
had them natural. Like that, it don't go like that for everybody.
Well, I figured out it wasn't as great as it could be because each one sold about for anywhere from 750 to 1,500. So I made over 10 grand on the litter because I really didn't have to do much. I gave the guy his pup back and everything went smooth after that. I was actually in Oklahoma at the time because we had to move down there from Texas and move in with her parents, with my wife's parents in her basement. So that's after I moved out of there, I moved into one of her grandma's rent homes, and that's how we started our litters. I told her within a year we'll go back to Texas. So I sold every puppy. I sold my kayak, my fishing kayak. I sold pretty much everything I could have just come back to Texas. So we packed up, came back to Texas, and I had my second litter. Um, and then from there it just kept growing. I kept getting a bigger passion into it. So I ended up spending about 20 to 30,000 on a couple more dogs. I got some more exotic dogs out of Texas Bully Unit here in Killeen, Texas, and I bought Mushu and Cover Boy, and then it kind of went up from there. After I spent our life savings, COVID hit. I was training my dogs for shows, and COVID hit, and shows completely stopped. And so my wife looked at me like I was insane. So every day until the shows opened back up, I was stacking my dog every day for over 2 to 3 hours a day.
You
And I
didn't make
trained.
a whole bunch of that COVID money that everybody was making?
I did right afterwards, yes, but all the show stopped, so I couldn't bring out what I produced and what I bought. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it was dead in the water. I done spent all our money, and I was just working as an electrician. I had my own little trailer, and I was running around town just making money and trying to stay afloat. Um, so long story short, uh, the doors opened back up, and I had this dog that was unstoppable, and that's kind of how I got my name out there. We went all over the world. Well, not the world. We went all over the United States, and I won. It was like 13 or 14 in a row. I had this dog trained so well that I could stack him, and I could literally go live and go get in my car and go to the gas station and get a drink and come back to the show. My dog hadn't moved. So he looked like a statue. People thought he wasn't real, and that's how I kind of got my name going, man. Is from stacking my dog and leaving him there.
Well,
Uh,
well
that's
that'll
really where.
that
Do what?
well that's
Pretty dope
the
right
fact
there,
that
though.
you got your name from stacking your dog.
It came out of that era. I remember that era, man. If you could stack your dog and walk away like that, I mean, it was a thing. It was kind of
Yeah.
hard to do. So yeah, I remember that era, bro. When it was
Well,
that was
well,
big
where
too.
where it originated from was man, I can't remember his name, but he had a stack 'em up challenge, like stack 'em up, stack 'em up. He used to have this song and everything, and I can't remember all of his details off the top of my head right now, but I was at a show. It was like my fourth show, and I seen this guy with this female exotic, and he stacked her and walked away from her. And he was walking around her. He was clapping in front of her, and she was just standing still, wasn't moving. And he won the stack 'em up challenge. And I remember people going crazy, and like the energy that I got off of that I felt from it. That's where it just motivated me to want to do that. And so I used to have this outfit for Mushu. It was a crown and a cape, and I would put it on him, a red crown and a red cape, and they call him the Stat King. That's what they called him because he was undefeated. Like I wasn't getting beat. And the crazy part about it is at that time he was a B plus dog. He wasn't even A plus dog. Like he was mid. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't even like he was beating dogs that he shouldn't beat just because of what he did. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like, and I knew that, but it was a stack off. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
anytime I went to a show, I was like, is this a stack off or is this a stack off on the dog's looks? Because I'm not entering if this is a look stack off. I'm entering if this is I'm walking away from my dog and nobody's topping what I'm about to do, you know? And then, man, there's a couple guys that came out a couple years later after me, and they were stacking 3, 4 dogs at a time in the stack off and walking away.
Yeah, I about to say, I remember a guy, he used to have a gang going on. He'd have it on the yard, and he stacked, like, it'd be like $10, where he'd stack them all. And I remember seeing this one guy at Rumble in the Jungle, he would stack, he had a snake, the dog would wear the snake, man, everything.
Dude, this guy, he was stacking like 10 dogs in a, like 8 foot apart from each other, and he was going live and he was lawn mowing around them with a
Yeah,
lawnmower.
that's the guy. Yeah, that's the guy I seen.
Yeah, bro. What's his name? I can't remember his name, but that.
I can't think of it either, but yeah, he was, yeah, hey, I don't know, he was different. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. And I was all like, all right, I'm done with that. So then I got deep into recognizing champion dogs outside of the show ring. So then I started looking at people and I was like, hey, let me show your dog. Hey, let me show your dog. And I started winning best in shows with other people's dogs. So this is the first 2, 3 years of showing, like getting into the show ring. Um, so then I started winning with everybody's dogs, like killing it, getting best in shows. I had like 15 best in shows with other people's dogs, Frenchies, XLs, you name it. Every breed I was winning with. Exotic, I was one of the first exotic bullies to win a USBR sanction show, best in show, with Moonshine, my buddy Brad's dog with Lake Belton Bullies, Moonshine. So I bred to him and created some crazy exotics, and then I never got to like the A plus in the exotics. I was always like A minus, like almost top level with the exotics. So I took what I learned from that, and my mentor gave me a bulldog, and I bred the bulldog to my buddy Sean Gilliland's Texas Bulldog Connections champion Simon. and I came out with blue hunteds. So I really blew up. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I came out with blue hunteds, and that's when I started winning with my production. So I won in 2020. I won over 15 best in shows with blue hunteds. Chicago, LA, I mean, you name it. Ohio, New Mexico, ton in Texas. I mean, because I live here, so I was going all over Texas, winning almost every show. I won back-to-back fun show and sanction show at a show in McAllen. I didn't think I was going to be able to leave. I almost won every trophy at that show. Um, and that's when these shows were packed, shoulder to shoulder. You know, these shows were insane. I mean, there's 25 bulldogs in my category. You know what I mean? And so throughout the years, I kind of molded into a what do you call it? Like a better breeder or a better marketing breeder, and that's where I kind of give game out on my Facebook, and some people don't get it.
Well,
And the
yeah.
funny part,
Yeah,
the funny
yeah.
part about
Very recently
what?
that happened, right?
Yeah, so I tend to post things, and people grab a hold of them, and I'm not trying to be an asshole about this or anything, but I used to be that 90% of breeders that thought they knew everything, that thought that this was bullshit and that was this, and I knew everything. But then I started to realize that, you know, people do things for a certain reason, and the number one, you know, the 10% of breeders that are actually making money are doing things a certain way. And so some people will never understand what I'm posting, and I'll get a lot of negative comments or hate on my page because 90% of those people that are commenting won't ever make it in the dog game.
Well, I
And
mean
I mean,
that's probably true about life and anything you do is
yeah,
but the people that are bitching are wasting energy, and that's why they're bitching and not getting bitched about.
yeah. So I hate to say it like that because it makes me sound like a hothead, you know, arrogant top breeder, you know, but it's just hard to make people understand what I'm trying to say. And I mean, literally only 5% of people that message me know what I'm trying to say. And so back to the comment on the Photoshop. So I used to hate on motherfuckers that Photoshop their dogs, right? I used to be that person that everybody else is
So
being.
so so like a deeper explanation. Why? Why did you think that somebody that photoshopped a dog deserved that kind of hate?
Well, because when I saw that, because before I was going around to see the dog in person, I was hating on it. Then when I went to go see the dog in person, I was like, why did they bring this dog out if they're photoshopping the dog that much? Then I started seeing the people that were only photoshopping their dogs to where the dog looked like it looked in person. So there's a big difference. You see what I'm saying? So
Now
you
you
could
think you think that might have been the miss on the social media post is that that
definitely,
didn't come
but
that nuance of your comment
I
didn't
don't know
come
if I've ever
across.
heard nobody talk about it like on that side of it because damn man, you know what? That's wild. I never thought about somebody photoshopping it to give it the actual look because some dogs just don't take good pictures and will never take a picture that looks like they look in person. They look way better in person than the pictures. So
exactly. So that's what
yeah,
I heard a lot from people with blue hunteds. They were like, "Man, he looks a whole lot bigger in his photos." That's all I heard. And then when people would come over to breed to him, they'd be like, "Damn, he's small." And so I started recording people with their reactions, and then people started realizing that he's actually more than meets the eye on a photo. And so I started trying to find photographers that photoshopped the dog. And I found a couple that overdid it, and so I didn't use them anymore. I have photos in my phone that I'll never post. You know what I'm saying? I'll never put them on the internet because it's not what I wanted. So then I found the photographers that would put out exactly what I wanted. And everybody would always ask me, "Who's your photographer? Who's your photographer?" I wouldn't tell them because then more people are going to use him, and you know everybody's going to have the same photos if that makes any sense.
yeah.
So
No,
so
it does. You're not gonna have that competitive edge to where like your Photoshop's better than theirs.
So let me give you a scenario. I came in here with a new type of dog, a fluffy mini English bulldog with fronts, right? I purposely got a professional photographer to take a picture of him in his most toted out, freakiest position and look ever because I knew what it was going to do for the internet, right? I knew it was going to happen. So I got the most freakiest, low to the ground, craziest shot you've ever seen of this dog at 6 months. And I posted it. And the picture went fucking viral. I mean, it went, I can't even tell you how many views and comments that picture went. And mostly positive. The second one went mostly negative, but the amount of return it gave me was insane. Anytime I've done a professional photo from this guy, I've gotten over 10 to 15 lock-ins per dog. And
So, so let me ask you a question. There's got to be limits, and you said a while ago there's limits. You can overdo Photoshop. So what would you say, like so like when they're cleaning it up and they're photoshopping your dog, like what's too far for you? Because like I think the majority, and I seen your posts and I watched your lives to try to clean it up too, and talking to you right then when you said that can be overdone, I think that might have been what missed because a lot of times when you say Photoshop to me, I'm thinking you blew his legs up. You put a lot of bone on him to where when I show up, that
yeah,
dog looked like he skipped leg day.
yeah. Here's
That's
the
what
thing.
I'm
Here's
picturing.
the thing.
Not cleaning it up or putting it in the best light. Both of
Yeah.
those are photoshopping, but maybe that's what needs to be the clarification there, so people don't go, well, they're saying now everybody should Photoshop their dog, and they're taking these skinny dogs and making them look, like Johnny Bravo.
Well, that's the whole point of marketing. So I'm going to make a post that brings negative and positive influence to my page. Facebook pays me. I make over $680 to $1,000 a month on Facebook alone just for posting. So I'm posting the bare minimum because Facebook. All right, I'll give out some game right now for all the people that are listening. If you post a deal on your page and you write it too long, it doesn't give you the color background or the short letters that are bold that stick out on Facebook, right? So I can only write as much as I can to where it won't turn it into a paragraph because people don't want to come on there and read a paragraph. They don't want to sit there
Yeah.
and read a fucking story
Nobody
on your
nobody
page.
wants to read. Period.
So you
Just to
got to
be
keep it. You
honest.
got to keep it short and sweet, and you don't put any type of other colors on it besides black and white. You use a black background and white letters, big letters,
Yeah,
and you keep it short and sweet, and that brings the most attention to your page and to what's going on your page. Does that make sense?
no, it
So
does. That's straight out of marketing right there.
yeah, so some people are going to take my post the wrong way, which I want, and some people are going to take my post the right way, which I also want. So it's a win-win no matter
Oh,
what.
I'm
So
I'm I'm asking you about your personal opinion. I'm not as far as like if somebody's photoshopping their dog, like what's too far? Like what is okay to alter and what is off limits? In
okay, so
not your post, but in your like for you.
okay, so let's see. For me, shortening the dog, so shrinking the dog down to where it looks like it's squattier than what it really does in person. I don't think that's fair game, but also it's marketing. So if you have a tool in your yard, that's a dog that's a tool, and you don't go to shows with him, but you bring another dog out to shows because he's show quality and eye quality to people. There's certain dogs that are tools that are going to be put up and they're never going to be brought out and you're only going to ship boxes for. That's marketing. So whether you like it or not, it's a great tool because I know, I mean, I ship out a lot of studs over here at my house that don't look like their pictures. But these dogs would never be known if they didn't pull the marketing scheme that they're pulling.
Well,
It's
I agree with what you're saying, but
it's
you
other
can see
people.
it from the other side though, right? Like if
Yeah, yeah. But put it this way, okay? If that dog didn't breed solely off of pictures, these dogs that are coming over here that don't look like their pictures, they're producing fire ass dogs. You see what I'm saying
no,
here? So e-
100% understand what you're saying. I'm just
so
saying
I get
that
both
I
sides of
could
the
see
gate.
the other side where somebody
Yeah.
might get burnt up if they say they used your dog a couple times, and you shipped, and then they had an opportunity to do a side by side, and they realize that person's going to realize that dog is a producer, but chances are, if they'd have seen it the first time out, they may or may not have used the dog. Those other
and
breeds.
that's why that dog's a tool. Because if he never would have done the marketing he did, he never would be the big name that he is or
I
might be.
I agree 100% with that, but I think there is a fine line between misleading and marketing.
But have you ever gone and bought a puppy without seeing it in person? Have you ever gone and used a stud without seeing it in person? I
I
mean, here's the
have,
thing.
I have,
Here's the thing.
I have because
You,
I was. See, now that was I'd already done business with that breeder though, so
yeah,
I had trust in that breeder. Have I done it straight off the rip? Nope. Like
I don't
I
trust
got to
any.
see the dog.
I don't trust any breeder, bro. I mean, I tell people right now, don't even trust me. Come see my shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I pop out, I go to shows, I let you come to my spot and actually side by side get a picture with my dog. You know what I'm saying? But if I don't like something in the picture, you can't post it.
Oh, yeah,
I
but
don't,
come on, man.
you know?
But I'm okay. So the person that I bought the dog side unseen from, or the puppy side unseen, was Amy Curd, and I had done several transactions with her and had no problems.
Yeah.
So like you can trust some people. So
Yeah,
there's
no.
people I've been burnt. Like I've been burnt quite a few times. Matter of fact, I just seen the guy that probably burnt me the most out of all the deals I've ever done on buying dogs. I seen he's fixing to get blasted on Facebook. It's been 2 years, but that somebody was put a post up wanting to know about this guy, and I guess he sold a dog with one nut, and
I mean,
wouldn't make it right.
some people are like that, you know? Some people are going to get blasted. Um,
Well, see, that's the thing. I think so. You're talking about photoshopping a dog, but the dog's a producer. I think where people get mad is like this breeder I'm talking about. He photoshops with ill intent. He misrepresents the dog because that's
yeah.
something you can do with Photoshop. Is you can completely misrepresent the dog.
Yeah, no, no doubt. But let me put it this way. Have you ever ordered clothes or something online?
Yes,
Okay, and have they came back and it wasn't what you thought it was when you put it on?
absolutely.
Yep. So, you know, I like going to the store and trying on the clothes before I buy them, you know? So,
Well, I'm there now. I agree with you.
yeah.
I had never shipped semen in.
I mean,
Like it's either a
you
live
know,
breeding or nothing.
McDonald's lies to you, Burger King lies to you, but we still eat there. You know what
I
I
agree.
mean? It's kind of tough. It's a tough one because I used to be that guy that just hated on all the bullshit, but now I understand it. I understand why people market the way they do. But I'm not gonna lock in a dog I haven't seen in person. That's just me personally. You know, I won't. If I'm gonna use a dog and I'm gonna want to, make my camp stronger off of it, I don't care if the dog's in Australia. I'm flying out there. I gotta see him. And then if I can see him and put my hands on the dog, I'm locking him in right then and there in full. You
Well,
know what I mean?
yeah. I'm with you. Like I'm not somebody that I don't hate on what other people are doing. Like right now, the stage that I'm at, you know, I don't think I could afford to get a reputation for photoshopping because I'm still new and I'm still building.
Yeah.
But once you're established and you've had some studs, like you got a little bit of credit, and that's the thing is you
Yeah.
got to build that credit, right? That where people will trust you. You got to have some credibility,
Okay, let me give you
and then you
another.
can get away with that because like when you talk about yourself, I don't know. I don't even
Let me
want to
give you
I don't
another
want
one
to
real
throw no
quick.
names out there because I don't want to accuse nobody of photoshopping or start no bullshit because
Okay, let's put it this way. All my photos are touched, even my raw ones. There, you heard it. You know what I'm saying? Even my raw ones are touched a little bit. I might not like, I might love the picture completely, but I don't like that he stuck his tongue out a little bit because he don't look like that. He just, it's hot outside, or in that building, he walked a lot. So I'll take a little app on my phone and I'll make the tongue disappear. You know what I'm saying? It might be a little touched, but I'm not just posting anything. And let me give you another scenario with puppies. If you're not at least touching up your pictures on your puppies, you're not going to sell them. So look at it this way. A puppy's hard to turn down. So regardless if you Photoshop the puppy and people come to see the puppy, they're already in love with that puppy regardless of what it looks like when they get there. They're buying the puppy. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
So I hate to be like that, but it's marketing. Like, I mean, we're going to go see a new burger come out at Burger King, and they're going to post it looking all juicy and great. But when you get there, it looks like they fucking stepped on it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they did. Let's just be honest.
And it still tastes good, you know. But they're flaring it up. Like, shit, man. Coca-Cola bottles don't look like that. Sometimes they're flat as hell. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just one of them things. I kind of learned being in this game for a long time that if you're gonna make it or you're gonna be somebody, you got to play a little bit, you know.
Well, you definitely, when you get on that level, you can't. I think something everybody could agree on is you just can't post a bad pic. Now the difference is too, if you're Photoshop, if you're cleaning your photos up, your dogs are also. I mean, if we can move on here. I mean, you go to a lot of dog shows. I see that. I've seen you at dog shows. So like if you Photoshop to the bad too much, it's gonna eat you. You know, because you're showing the dog in public.
I've had the most Photoshops. Like I've had an excruciating Photoshop picture, but then people see the dog in person and they say, "Man, pictures don't do them justice." But they don't know all the justice I put on that photo. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I'm not overdoing it where they are like, man, that dog doesn't. I've never heard anybody say that dog doesn't look like that dog looks in person from pictures. I've never heard anyone say that. You know, I want their straight, raw answer. Like, what do you think of him? Man, he's way smaller. I still hear that to this day. All my dogs, you know, because I do mini bulldogs.
On the to put the exclamation point on this topic here, I just want to say, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, Blake. Whether you agree with it or don't agree with it, I mean, I appreciate your honesty because I don't hear nobody else doing that. I hear, you know, people get mad about Photoshop. They'll take shots at Photoshop, but ain't nobody, you know, nobody that does use it is coming out going, yeah, I did, and my dog still all that, you know. So
yeah, no, that's the thing. I wouldn't be best in show and winning best in shows and, you know, crushing the competition if my dog was overdone on Photoshop. And I mean, I'm not saying every single picture is Photoshop. I'm not saying that at all. You know, not all of them are, but, you know, some of them might be dialed in just a little bit, you know. I mean, it's not the end of the world, you know. I mean, my dogs really look like that, you know. And then to put it this way, the whole reason why I made that Photoshop post so we can end on this is because anytime I seen somebody say, looking for a stud, right? You've seen those posts, right? Hey, I'm looking for a English Bulldog stud. You see these people post these pictures of their dog like sitting on the couch next to them, or a dog in a backyard, and there's like 2 old toilets back there and a bunch of trash. Like,
hey man,
bro,
hey, now I'll post my dog sitting on the couch, but I ain't got no toilets, you know.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, man, like y'all really didn't take any time to actually get a photo of your dog. You're literally giving us a super raw, like there's raw and then there's super raw. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, it's a candid photo.
Yeah, and then it's like, you think people are going to want to, like, if you're not taking your camp serious and getting pro pics and those are the ones you're posting, people aren't going to take you seriously. Like, I can get in somebody's inbox that's looking for a stud. I can send them a bunch of pro pics and I can send them raw videos as well. You know what I mean? And nothing's going to change. But I'm not sending them a raw video of the dog taking a shit or drinking out of the water bowl. You know what I mean?
So you're pro pics, but you're not going to disclose who's the best pro picker.
Well,
no.
Well, I can't. I don't want to do that because not all these guys Photoshop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Jimmy Lamone with Street Bully magazine. Anytime I've been at a show and he's taken a picture of my dog and he sent me that picture, I've always posted it. Like the recent one where I got Teddy in front of me, my fluffy English, and it's kind of shadowed over my face and stuff. That one is uncut. That one's raw. Street Bully magazine is one of my favorite photographers out there, Jimmy Lamone, for sure. 100%.
So let me. Well, okay, you know what? Here we can close on this topic because what should somebody expect to pay? You think price range on pro pics? So people don't get took on the pro pic. What's a reasonable expectation to spend?
A solid Photoshopper that takes pro pics, that doesn't overdo it on your dog, anywhere from 150 to 200 for 3 edits. A normal just photo guy that takes solid pictures that doesn't Photoshop, anywhere from 75 to $125 for 3 edited photos. So I
T-Rod,
get a
I think
front.
T-Rod, you're gonna need to get your Photoshop skills up.
So I'd say I would.
use them. I just don't do it.
Yeah, yeah.
well,
Some
hey,
well some
Blake,
photographers.
Blake has made it okay. Evidently, you can go on. You don't have to
But
be
you see,
ashamed to
he
use it
said
no more. Go on.
125. That's why I tell people 120. Hey, we just gonna snap the dog.
Yeah,
And you know,
and I
the pictures are gonna be nice. I might fix the color up some because they're gonna be raw photos. So of course you got to
yeah.
touch up colors and things like that. But other than that, I don't ever
I have
manipulate
four.
the dog.
I have 4 photographers. So
Mm-hmm.
long story short, I use 4 different guys because I don't want to post a picture that's like the same all the time. And then what I get is a front shot, a side shot, and then sometimes like an angled side shot. You know what I mean? So they can see the rear and everything else.
Oh, I just
Right.
thought about this, T-Rod. Here's what we need to do. We need to get one of your dogs, one of my dogs, and we get some shots of it, and then post side by sides of the normal pic. Did you clean the colors up, and then
Oh yeah.
Photoshop it?
Yeah. Yeah, you can show. It's so many ways you could do it. Well, you could.
All right, I'm just saying, do it whatever way you want to do it. Just don't overdo it. It's what the man's saying. He said, clean the
You can
picture
get
up.
look. You can get a picture done right now, right? And I got a guy in Cali you can send the picture to, and he's gonna make a picture. I mean, you're gonna get lost in it. Let's just be real. Like, it don't even have to be you editing it. Somebody else can. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the crazy part about this game. I mean, it's marketing. Literally, it's marketing. That's it. It's marketing. You
Well,
can hate on it or not, but every big chain company does this type of marketing.
they do. You're right. Except for I think the thing you're leaving out of there is you gotta be able to back it up. You can't
Yes,
have. You gotta have the dog too. No dog's perfect, but it can't be so far off the mark that somebody feels like you're trying to scam them.
exactly. But, you know, people get scammed every day in other businesses as well.
Well, that
So,
don't make
I
it all
mean,
right though, man.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I'm doing it. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying it's their fault for not taking the extra precautions and measures to make sure that this isn't a scam. Because how many times have you got scammed in your life? I've only been scammed twice off of these dogs, and that's not from locking in studs.
No, I got scammed on some paperwork, and then
Yep.
like that was, I guess that's the biggest one. That was the one that hurt the most.
So it's hard to know if things are real without seeing it in plain sight. So I'm gonna go see it myself before I buy it, before I lock it in, before I purchase it, whatever. I got to see it in person.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I get that. But I do appreciate your candor and your honesty on the Photoshop. Like maybe the dog world will pick something new to bitch about in the future, and we can just move away from the Photoshop bitching. So,
Yeah.
hey, so why don't you tell us about the Stack League? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm kind of interested in that. I'm like I said, I'm new. I just started showing dogs this year, and
Okay.
I've only been breeding for 4 years. I think T-Rod's been in it for about 5. And last year we started going to shows and kind of seeing what it was, and so but we hadn't done any stack offs.
Okay. So my stack league, I wanted to change it up a little bit. So these stack offs were kind of biased, is what I thought when I would see them. They were picking the famous dog or the guy that was well known, and not all of them, not all of them. You know what I mean? Or some of them were no hands, where the dog was standing still, which those weren't as biased, but because the dog couldn't move. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I was trying to combine those two together to make it fair for the public, to make it to where there was more after COVID and after these shows started to dwindle down and not as many people show up. I started to see less exotics, less, you know, new age dogs come out, like the ones that people don't really breed very much. A lot of the dogs that are winning these shows are pockets, standards, XLs, Frenchies. Excuse me. So I was getting tired of seeing the same old dogs winning over and over again. So I was like, how can we get these exotics and these dogs that used to come out and win when the shows were bigger to come back out to these shows so that we could have these shows more packed, for the community, basically, is what the Stack League started off of. How can I get more dogs to come out for the community to be more relevant, that these shows are still popping, right? So I thought of the Stack League, a stack only registry, the first of its kind, is what it says below the sticker. You know what I'm saying? Or below the Stack League name. A stack only registry. So we built a confirmation Stack League. So you don't walk, you know what I'm saying? All you do is stack. You do a front stack, a side stack, and a rear stack. And basically we judge the dog from top to bottom, and then we give it a point system from breed type goes first. So we want to hit breed type on the head first. If the dogs tie up, say they both get a 10, then we go to wow factor. If they both get a 10 on wow factor, then we go to discipline. And whoever has the highest number wins that category. We have a first, second, and third place. It takes 3 wins or 15 points to become a champion in the Stack League.
Say you're talking to somebody that's a complete idiot on this, and so when you say discipline, I assume you're talking about how long they can stay stacked without having to be corrected, huh?
Yeah, but discipline comes last. We go off a breed type first, then wow factor. So if they both fit the breed type, then they need something in the wow factor to set them apart from the breed type. So if they hit breed type, then the wow factor of the dog could be major bone, good elbows. I'm talking in an exotic world,
Right.
for instance, or a big head, or just a solid ass rear, with a good top line. It could be something that makes the dog wanted. So something that makes you want to use that dog in your program. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and a characteristic that stands out.
Yeah, like that's the wow factor. And then discipline comes after that if they both have the same amount of wow factor. Most of the time, discipline won't even come into play, more say, unless it needs to even out or kill another dog in its number bracket. We'll go off of discipline. Like if there's a dog in there that meets everything, but it's moving around and it don't want to stand still, and it's just going to show that the owner didn't do any training on the dog, then of course we'll opt that dog out and pick the other one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we have categories too. So we have French Bulldog, we have English Bulldog, we have exotic bully, and then American bully. American bully is pocket to an XL, but we're not judging the pocket compared to the XL. We're judging it per its breed type. You know what I'm saying? And same thing with the Frenchies. There could be an extreme Frenchie in there, an exotic Frenchie, a standard Frenchie, or a mini. You know, and we're judging it on its breed type, not it compared to the other style dog.
Okay, so I got a question on that then. So if you got an exotic against a standard, how do you get seem like the wow category there would be a little skewed because the exotic was bred for the wow factor, right? Like that's why you add DNA to a standard breed, is because you're trying to get something to stand out.
Yeah, so the standard dogs, if they meet the standard, that's its wow factor because the standard dog's been around for years. So the first dog to champ out in the Stack League, Frenchie wise, was a standard Frenchie. So, if that goes to tell you anything, but not a lot of exotic Frenchies knew about the Stack League till recently. So
I
we
just
gave
saw
out,
it. I just saw it in Gonzales at the Bully Decks.
yeah. So we did a jacket there, but we weren't at the Bully Decks actually.
Well, no, but I okay. I seen that you had a sign up though.
Yeah, because we got a booth, so they made all the stuff for us, and I put my Stack League in there because we did a junior
Well,
handler jacket.
that's what I was saying. Like that's where I
Yeah.
run across it. Is I seen the banner there.
Oh yeah. So we did So what we do is for the community, we donate to a couple of shows out here that are some of our friends and people that we've been messing with for a long time, and so I do a random junior handler, top junior handler in the building jacket, and it's equivalent to a $500 jacket with custom patches made from SJG Print Design, out of my buddy Sean Gilliland's shop that I work at Monday to Friday. Also is another little gig I do, and we make custom hats, patches, backdrops, banner setups, booth setups. I mean, we do clothes, DTFs, UV DTFs. We can make trophies, the whole 9 yards. I mean, I just
That's
made
direct to fabric, right? Like the print direct to fabric.
yeah, and then also I did belt buckles there. So we did custom engraved belt buckles that I can put any design you want on there, and we burn into them, and then I paint them and um, make them look really cool.
Man, I'm gonna just tell you this. I think the dog shows are missing it. Somebody needs to do a dog show where the bully classes are belt buckles for the trophies.
Yeah,
That's
those belt buckles take like 4 hours a piece to make,
well,
though.
I'm saying I don't
Yeah,
know, but that'd be some good hardware if you made that jump. You know, like from especially if it was a rodeo theme, because I think there's one in Fort Worth, right? That is a rodeo themed dog show.
yeah,
Yeah, see, they should be giving out belt buckles to the winners.
yeah. I love them, man. I'm trying to build a plexiglass box for them with lights in it, so it can like really showcase the belt buckle. So if people don't want to wear them and they want to put them on their their shells with all their trophies, it'll be a really cool like little add-on to the.
Yeah, so see there, we somebody's gonna do it now, and you heard it here first.
Yeah, yeah. You gave me an idea. I mean, that'd take a long time to make those belt buckles, man. Golly.
Well, that's
But
what
I
it'd be
mean,
worth it. So you wouldn't give it out for third place, you know what I'm saying? But like,
yeah,
a big dog show, like just, Frenchie Bowl or Off the Leash or the Jungle. Like, the
yeah,
Jungle's kind of got their own theme, but I'm just saying something of that stature. Have
yeah, for sure.
because I don't imagine those belt buckles gonna be cheap, especially if they're not worth
No, no,
having.
no.
If they're worth having or not.
Well, you can actually hit the sales team sjgprintdesign.com, and you can tap in on there, and anybody can order these belts. These aren't just something exclusive that I'm making, and neither are the jackets. We just had Ron English order a second place junior handler jacket that we're doing for his show, Breeders on the Beach. So if anybody wants a jacket, if you want belt buckles, if you want custom shirts, hats for your show, whatever, y'all just tap into the sales site, or you can email the girls at sales@sjgservicesllc.com.
Well,
And
I
y'all
tell
can
you
hit
what,
them up as well.
some promoter needs to get up on that, and let's have a western or a rodeo themed dog show that you win belt buckles. I'd be at that one. I don't know if I'd be winning, but I damn sure be trying.
I wear boots at every show. I'd definitely be there too.
I quit wearing boots a long time ago. My feet, they make my damn feet hurt.
Well, I take the soles out and put the comfort insoles in there. I'm walking on
Don't tell
clouds.
nobody that. You gotta keep that to yourself.
Shit, I don't keep enough to myself, man.
You gotta install that filter. Well, hey, that being like, I see you online at a lot of dog shows, and I've seen you at 2 or 3 of them that I've been to already this year. How important do you think? Because like right now, like especially with Frenchies. Now, English Bulldogs seem to be pretty stable on their pricing, and like they're not fluctuating like the Frenchies. But if you got a stud you're pushing, how important would you say making it to dog shows and appearances and competing is?
So with Blue Hunteds, with all the shows I've shown up to, it's been really important. So for instance, I mean, and that's kind of a tough one because
I think so. So let me preface it. Let me set it up a little better for you, because I personally believe that with the decline in the market right now, that it's more important to put your dog in front of people where they can see it, touch it, watch it, than it is to Photoshop or the pics or what, because like that's especially if you're newer.
I would say certain shows. So find out the shows that are really hitting throughout the years. I'm going to say the shows this year that I think were top grade level are going to be that New Orleans in the boot, kicking in the boot, I think, was one. The Wow Factor is going to be another. If y'all miss the Wow Factor this year, you're missing money. Straight up. The Jungle is definitely one of them as well.
Yeah, that's an easy layup right there. Yeah, I could have told you that one.
That's another show that I definitely think you should be at, and I think a lot of people are sleeping on North and South Carolina. I think they're throwing a lot of shows that are solid out there as well. And really, ultimately, almost if you have dogs that are DNA and crazy class and different, I would say that you need to go to Cali shows. A lot of Cali shows out there are really, really dumping out money. They're really spending money at these Cali shows. So if you can get your dogs out there and be seen, you're going to make money. Now, going to every single show, am I getting a lock in? Fuck no. You know what I'm saying? I show up to these shows, a lot of these shows, for the community and for the people that support me. I don't show up because I think I'm going to get a stud fee or a lock in. And right now I'm working on my fluffy mini English to get a champion in TCBR right now. So I don't really care for people to see my dog or come and lock them in at a show. It's probably not happening unless it's one of those top shows that I mentioned. That's those shows I'm getting 5 lock-ins, maybe 2 at the most. But most of these other local shows, smaller shows, really people are just looking at my dog and they think he's great until they hear the stud fee. Because the problem with the market right now is everybody has a dog with something that your dog might have, but they're charging $500, $1,000
Yeah.
when your dog's 3,500. But here's the thing: we're in a producing day and age right now. So giving your dog semen away for cheap, you're lessening your value of your kennel and what you're out here for. I don't sell my stud fees for cheaper. None of my dogs, unless they're new to the yard, are cheaper than $1,000. So most of my dogs right now, currently, Blue Hunteds is at 5K because I know what he does for everybody's program. My Fluffy English is at 3,500, and I have some Frenchies that are.
Did you DNA Blue Hunters? What's his DNA?
Yeah, I DNA all my dogs. So Blue Hunteds is a carrier of. He's a black trimerle. He doesn't carry chocolate, and he has no defects in his DNA. So he doesn't have any, CMR1, DM, none of that stuff. He doesn't have any of that. So I made sure when I got into these minis, I had fully health cleared dogs.
Yeah, so I mean that's a debatable topic too, I guess. But as far as whether those are all
on that side. Okay.
It was important to me, but a lot of these breeders out here don't do it, and a lot of people are
no, so I do
breeding
it.
the dog.
I do it, and I do it for this reason because you have to. Whether I think some of them are like DM being on the Frenchie panel, it's bullshit. But you got to test them because if it comes down between your dog and somebody else's, and they say mine's 6-panel health cleared, it don't really matter if that's valid or not.
You just don't never hear a lot of people with English or bullies that talk about DNA, and so it was just kind of.
Yeah, most bully exotics don't get tested.
I think that's going to change in the next few years. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
I think they're going to have to. I think that's where it's going to move.
Yeah, a lot of people are though. I'm not gonna knock that they are or not doing it, but there's a lot of people that are doing it, So just one of them things.
Right.
Well, the more exotic you get, the more you're going to need to do it to produce a quality product. Which, speaking of exotics, we can go on and talk about some of the trolling that you've experienced of recently. I don't know who the guy was. I do know he has a lot of followers and he's some kind of dog trainer. But
oh yeah, so long story short, a lot of people want to see OFAs and POHs and SHOTs, and I'm just joking.
Yeah.
But they want to see all this bullshit. But the funny thing about OFAs is they can't be tested until the dog is 2 years old.
And then it's not even so we need to be so you could, I'm sure, speak on this. You can explain it. It's not an actual test. It is objective. Like you take the dog to a vet and they
it's an X-ray.
Yeah, but it is an interpretation though, right? Like you could know a vet that just, it's kind of like getting your car inspected. If you know where to go, you gonna get it. You already know what the outcome is.
Yeah, I mean, my vet, I could go right now and they'd lie for me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to do that. When he turns 2, my fluffy mini English bulldog, I'll get the test done on him. But the people asking for the OFAs and all that shit are never going to use my dog. They're just hating.
Yeah.
So what's the point? And they're like, oh, you can get it when he's 6 months, and they'll give you a guesstimation on if he's going to have problems or not. Here's the thing. With these smaller dogs, these minis, their joints aren't fully grown into their socket yet until they're over the age of 1.5 years. And that's facts. on exotics. I've talked to specialized vets. I've brought dogs to multiple vet doctors, and they've told me the same thing. This dog isn't fully developed yet to where its joints are going to be in the socket. Now, there's a difference from hip dysplasia and the dog's leg not being in the socket yet. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
there's a big difference. You can tell by the x-rays. But most of the time, the dog's just not fully developed yet because it's still growing. You know, puppies' bones are like mush until they're formed into what they're supposed to be. So a lot of people don't know shit about these dogs. That's the thing. They don't know. A lot of these vets don't know anything about certain breeds either. Like they can go to school all day long. They can do thousands of hours in the school to be a vet tech, but it doesn't mean shit until you actually breed and study the breed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's
Like,
true, 'cause my
Exactly.
dentist actually told me like when I first started, I would ask questions because I thought I knew but wasn't sure if I knew. And then when I
yeah,
would ask a vet, he would be like, "I'm not sure. You might want to ask one of your breeder friends. They would know better when it comes to that than I would be." And I'm like, "Huh? You the vet, bro?" So
yeah.
turned out I ended up knowing more about the breed than my vet did.
Ask them
Here's
about
how.
any of the disorders on the panel. They don't like. I've asked at least 3 different vets about to explain to me the disorders on the panel and how likely that is to happen, and they shy away from it every time.
Yeah, because the disorders on the panel are only dependent on the type of breed. Because some of those disorders that they're saying your dog has, your dog will never show that disorder.
Well, no, I
So
know, but like animal genetics just gives you the panel
yeah,
for French bulldogs, and like because I was asking about CY3, I think, and because I was like, how do you tell that from a mouth swab on the propensity of that dog to develop, you kidney stones later, and man, they just couldn't.
yeah,
I
because the dogs don't get it. How many dogs in your lifetime have you seen actually have kidney stones? Zero.
in my
So
in my yard, zero. Like, but you see that crap on Facebook, right? Like they'll hold up a little bottle's got about 10 little pills in it, talking about, oh, this is what they took out of my dog.
the whole time I've been breeding, I've only seen that one time, and it was literally like 2 weeks ago, and it was a poodle, and it was on off the leash. It wasn't even our breeds. So I'm like, and then what are you feeding that dog? Dr. Pepper? Like what the hell? You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna lie. I've never seen. I've never. I mean, I'm sure any animal can anything with a body can have kidney stones because if you got a
Yeah.
kidney, I mean,
Well,
everything works the same in everybody.
yeah. And
Whatever
then the bigger,
develops it. Like, but I've never heard of a dog having. I've never seen
me
that
neither.
with
And then
kidney stones.
the harder fact of the deal is that I'm in Austin. This is adopt don't shop. They hate breeders here. I used to rescue over 100 pit bulls a year before I was married and had kids. So I was a guy that didn't like breeders at one point. But then once I got a hold of the breed that I fell in love with, I understood why people do this. I understood why the good people do this. So if that makes any sense, I've had to find the vets here that were actually for breeders. There's a lot of vets here that'll just lie to you and tell you what they want you to feel is right and make you fix your dog when you shouldn't. You know what I'm
I think
saying?
we have those everywhere. We got
Yeah.
several here.
But Austin, it's worse because this Austin's just a mix of. I don't want to get into politics, but
Nah, I don't either. This week.
it's a mix of both sides, and so people have their. Which I don't do politics. I believe in what I believe, and so people are so keyed on just fighting with each other, and arguing. So I've gone the full extent to bring my fluffy English bulldog out to dog meet and greets for like Wolfgang Bakery and all these places, and people are blown away with him. They love him, and I've been getting more love with just regular dog people that don't like breeders than I have actual people in the community.
So
You know what
so
I'm
to
saying?
so to clean that up a little bit, because we kind of strayed off there. Well, if you want to tell everybody what exactly happened, like they got a hold of a picture of your dog, right? And he posted it, talked about it had to stop, or I can't remember right off the top of my head, but like he was trying to make an example out of your dog, and basically said this kind of breeding has to stop.
So what happened was, is I posted this picture of Teddy with my kennel partner Lacey, right? The picture got I can't even remember how many likes, and I think it was over like 4,500 likes and oh man, probably 6,000 comments. So when other influencers that are in the dog community see things like that, they piggyback off of it because they know they're going to get views and likes on their page so that they can make money. So this guy never messaged me, never looked at my page, never asked me anything, grabbed a picture of my dog and piggybacked off of what I've already done with my dog. So then all the people that know me in the community went on his post and started running their mouth to him. You know what I'm saying? So he won't respond. He won't do nothing to me because he knows what he's doing. He's a marketer. So he's marketing his brand and he's marketing what he does out here in the community and gets people to add to his page. So I have almost 30,000 followers on my page, right, on Facebook. This guy has over 250,000. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that in turn gives this guy more followers through his page and brings him more money.
Oh
So
yeah, but and also the side that he takes. Let's just be honest. Like everybody wants to prove their moral superiority, so nobody's ever gonna. When somebody goes, "Oh, this guy's being mean to animals," y'all go get him. Nobody's gonna stop and go, "No, not really," because that was the thing. I bet you never got one phone call, text message, email, snail mail, nothing asking you about the dog, videos of the dog, whether it could, run, jump, play, nothing. He made assumptions because the assumptions he made is what needed to be for clickbait.
Yeah, all he saw was a picture and he trolled off the picture. That's it. That dude's a joke. But that dude probably makes tons of money on what he does with his marketing. So I can't really hate on what he does. He gives out a book about puppy training programs, which I'm sure he makes money on. This is this dude's profession. This is what he does. He trains dogs and I guess produces dogs as well. I didn't really follow him or try to find out who he was because I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? But off his post and how many people saw my dog off his post, guess how much money I made in lock-ins off of his post?
That's the email you ought to send him. Just tell him thank you with a bow.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, I made. I'm not even gonna say what I made, but it was definitely over 10. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just from his post,
tell him thanks for the contribution.
Bro, I got 10K followers just from his contribution. So the hate also brings fuel to the fire, man, and the love as well. So you gotta like both sides, and you gotta learn how to take the heat and not take the heat. You know what I'm saying? Without reacting the way some of these people do. And most of the people that are coming on my page and hating or that don't like the dog, they got blue hair, a bunch of shit in their face, and or they look like they're inbred themselves. So
well, you know what? You speak of that, like I'm working on an episode right now about line breeding, so that'd be something to defer them to.
Yeah, so that's one thing I can say right now. If you are out here breeding to a stud and you're not locking him in twice, or you're not locking in one of his better sons or close to him sons, then you're scatter breeding.
Whoa, wait now, because you may want to watch this when we get this done, because there's a lot more to it than just the 2 times shit. Like, cause because I've been told that too, like from the jump. Oh, once you get the dog the way you want it to look, you're gonna have to line breed to lock this in. But you also need to understand the coefficient, because I have a dog here that's been too tightly line bred that we bought, and she has genetic birth. Her she don't have 2 tubes. Like, we bred her one time when they did the C-section. Like, we're done. Like, she's not right. And like, the more research I do, when you get too tight and your coefficient gets too high, you start creating those problems with poor immune systems, birth defects, reproductive problems. Bitches not taking over and over and over again. Males only having one nut. Like, a lot of that comes from the coefficient got too high.
Yeah, or you get females that are she-males and they have too high in testosterone, and you never see it.
You're arguing an exception. You're arguing an exception there, sir. Like with but and I'm not one of those people. I'm not ever going to argue the exception, because no rule is 100%. But
Yeah.
if you're line breeding or inbreeding, which I guess they're both the same thing, but one of them's more socially
Well,
acceptable.
line breeding I think is better. Inbreeding I've seen the good and the bad because I also do a lot of repro here in Austin, so I've
But you
seen a lot of shit.
you just said to lock the stud in twice. When you run a sibling or when you run a child back to a parent, that is inbreeding.
Yeah, but I'm not saying lock the dad in twice and use the daughter to dad. I'm saying if you want to get his look, you're not going
Uh,
to get it on one
so
breeding.
so
You know
that's
what I'm
that's
saying?
that's what I'm talking about. Is like people need to understand that you got to put generations and there's values aside of those generations, and you also need to know how to run a pedigree down to know whether the dog you're starting with is inbred and what their coefficient is, if it is.
I wish somebody would have told me that at the beginning. So
I do too, sir. Luckily though, I
yeah,
bought 4 different bloodlines to work with because I was scared to death of it. But as it turns out, 3 of the dogs I bought were off of the damn Kong litter. Yeah, they were way
yeah,
down the tree from it. But that's another thing is I'm doing the episodes with James Choppin, and he looked it up, and in the Frenchie world, especially when you deal with the exotics, because it started from such a limited group that most of these Frenchies already have a close to 25% coefficient of inbreeding to off the jump, just because there was so few fluffies that started the craze, or so few new shades. When they started the new crazes, it started in limited camps. So the chances are you have a dog that already has a pretty decent coefficient of line breeding.
yeah.
So I don't know. I digress. I'm sorry, but you hit on
No,
a hot topic that I'm working on currently.
yeah, no, and man, if you want to tap back in later, I'll definitely jump on and give my 2 cents when you do
Oh
that
yeah.
for
So
sure.
well, we've been in it about an hour. So if you wanna tell us what you got going on, any dog shows you throwing part of, breeding's going down, anything you want to talk about, you got that's going on right now. Now's the time. And if you're interested, like I'll keep you in mind, and we'll definitely get you back in here.
Yeah, for sure. We got coming up on let's see, we got Bullies on Ice, Breeders in the Sand edition, September 18th, in Myrtle Beach. We also have the Dirty Bay Bulldog show coming up this month, and then
That's down in
and
Baytown, right?
yeah, in Baytown, yeah, he's got a real good show going down, and that's the one Stack League's going to be at. And then me and Lacey were just talking about the other one as well that was here. Oh, Battle of the Gods, #2 in McAllen, like the Valley area down there. My people are throwing that one's Stackley's going to be at as well. That show's going to be epic. And then we got New Mexico coming up, Roswell Roswell show. Man, I have to look these all up, all the dates. I should have had these all ready to go, but yeah, all the dates are right around the corner, man. It's gonna
Yeah, I
be
know
crazy.
there's quite a few. Like I've been looking and because we're gonna go to a bunch, and
Yeah,
there's
right
quite a
here.
few coming up for
It's the
between now and May.
it's the Bully Crash Site 2.0, Roswell, New Mexico, 7/4/2026, and the Stack League will be there. It's a double TCBR sanction show, so and the Stack League will be there. We're gonna have some crazy trophies.
Well, that's good, man. And you said that's in New Mexico.
Yeah,
That's only about I don't know 11 hours from me.
yeah, it's definitely out there.
I used to do a bunch of work in the Permian Basin, so yeah, it's a ride.
Yeah, and then so I guess a little bit about me to end it off. We have some exotics. We got some 2 times Megamind going down right now. We have a female that we just produced off Champion Groot. Um, we have a couple other Megamind females that'll be going out. We have some for sale as well. Uh, Really, what I'm focusing on this year and from here on out is my English Bulldogs. I do really exclusive mini English Bulldogs done the right way, not the wrong way. Right now, Teddy Ruxpin just went to my 2 times inbred Blue Hunted's daughter, and 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 we have some phenomenal tiny dogs right now that are fluffy carriers. So what I'm trying to do is create Blue Hunteds with fluffy, a visual fluffy, basically. So I want to have Blue Hunteds body size, stature, but with a full body of hair. And we'll be implementing a pink hair pretty soon as well to
Yeah,
our English Bulldogs.
I have a few carriers, but I don't know if I'm gonna pursue the full pink. I don't quite. Let me ask you a question. You bring that up. So what are you trying to achieve with the pink? Like, is it a particular color look? Like, as
So
far obviously it's just an aesthetic thing, right? Like, but
So who has a mini, fluffy, full pink English bulldog right now?
I'm not real versed. I love English bulldogs and I own one, but as
Yeah.
far as that, I've been pretty much just Frenchie, so I couldn't. I'm not the fair one. T Rod.
Nobody, nobody, not right now. They're all carriers, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And then probably Koi will be next because guess what? It'll only be hot for a short amount of time, and the money will only be hot for a short amount of time, and then the next new thing will be coming out. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
I
that's
don't
what
even know
people.
what's gonna be new though. I mean, what else can you add
But
now?
here it is. Everybody's got a standard fluffy EB that might carry pink. Everybody has a standard. Nobody has a mini because they can't perfect the dog to be small like I have. So everybody's just doing these standard EBs like it's nobody's business because they've been around for the longest time. Now, uh, Animal Genetics has a short leg gene. They can test for a dog that throws short legs constantly, and that's key on your your health test now because people are looking for that short leg gene now. And I actually heard about that this weekend from Tracy Lynn. She actually told me about that. Her and La Samantha were like, that short leg gene, you need to get your boy tested for that, my boy Teddy. So I'm going to retest him again because that's sought after and that's wanted in this game. So that they're guaranteed that when they breed to him, that some of their dogs will come out with the short leg gene.
Hell, you can know that tomorrow. I'm sure. Has he already been tested with animal
Yeah, yeah,
genetics?
yeah. We're gonna go through with it on Monday. Yeah.
Well, shit. All you gotta do is send him the money, and 30 minutes later, you'll have the results of that test.
Yes, sir. That's what we're gonna do. So I'm pretty excited about that as well. But yeah, man, if anybody wants to tap in, I got one male available, 2 times blue, 1 times Teddy, fluffy carrier. He's a blue try, and he's at 10K. So if anybody's interested, come tap in.
Well, I hope you find him a home.
We usually do. We sell.
Well, yeah.
We usually sell one or two a year for 10 to 20K. So
Well, hey, before you get out here, I gotta ask you: was the dog catcher photo Photoshop, or did it
which
did
one?
the you posted a picture of an inspection and then you come back and said it wasn't even. You said this shit wasn't even real. It was just for some haters. Was it?
Oh yeah, ChatGPT. So I took a picture of my kennel and I told ChatGPT to make a Round Rock uh, animal control agent smiling in my kennel, and I played with it a couple times on ChatGPT and it got it just right. So I posted it and it went viral. Well,
Yeah,
I had
I
to
did.
delete it. I had to delete it because the Round Rock Police Department commented on it and said this is AI. Our officer never came out to his kennel, and so it made me a little nervous. So I was like,
Let's
well,
see.
fuck. I
That's
mean, I got all my shit in line and got all my papers, but I don't want them coming over here fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? So I got done. I took it down and I was all like, holy fuck. It kind of made me a little nervous because, I was just like, well, and I looked up the laws on it and you can actually get in trouble for that. So I went ahead and deleted it and was like, yeah, I'd rather not get fucking fined 20 grand or something for some stupid ass shit I put on the
that's
internet.
why. Well,
You know?
that's why I hate the fucking internet. You can't trust anything.
Yeah.
It looked
So,
real as
honest,
shit. I seen where
bro.
you put the post up there that you faked all that and got you haters.
Oh yeah, so the whole reason behind it is to show how fast a post can go from nothing to something when it's negativity. People follow the negativity so fucking hard in this dog game, it'll make you sick. That's the problem with this dog game. Is people want to see you fail, they want to see you lose, they want to see puppies dying, they want to see dogs passing away. That's what they want to see. So I posted that, and within the first 2 hours, it had over 300 likes or reactions, and it had over like 500 comments. You
It
know
was
what
a
I
bunch,
mean?
yeah. There was a lot.
So the whole point of it was, and then I went live after I deleted it, and I proved a point. I said, y'all feed off of negativity and bullshit. That's what y'all do, and that's why this game is always going to be the laughing stock of breeds, because it's a joke. You know what I'm saying? People are just constantly feeding off negativity. You know,
No, that's
my
you,
boy Ace Boogie said it as well. Was Brother Bulldogs? He said the same thing, man. All y'all want to see is a motherfucker lose. That's all y'all want to see. They don't. And then you just post your stud, or you post, you know, something positive. It gets 100 likes, 10 comments. But as soon as you say my dog passed away, it's a bunch of condolences, and all of a sudden, all your friends on Facebook are actually reacting. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. That's oxymoron, right? Them friends on Facebook ain't actual friends.
Yeah, I know that, but
Yeah, ain't no. That's fake book, man. That's fake book.
yeah, it's definitely fake book, that's for sure. But yeah, man, that's just my on it. Sometimes when I'm posting stuff, and like I always tell everybody when I go live, I'm not following your page. I'm not looking at what you're posting. I'm not piggybacking off your post. I'm just putting out there what I've been through. I'm putting out there for the public what I've been through, so you don't have to go through the same thing. I'm putting out there what I've learned so you can understand how to get to the level that I'm at, or maybe get on a higher level than I'll ever be. And I hope that for everybody out here is that you make money doing these dogs. You also love these dogs to the fullest that they're supposed to be loved. You give them the attention they need, and you do this shit the right way. You don't do it the wrong way. And that's really all my posts are for. They're not to hate on anybody or bring anybody down. Like, I'm not talking shit to people that aren't going to shows. That's not what I'm doing. Some people can't go to shows because they're having litter after litter.
Hello. Hold on, I lost you, Blake. All right, are you back there?
Me?
Yeah, man,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
lost you for a second. I don't know what happened. Just
Oh, I can hear him the whole time.
okay. Well, I don't think I was recording him on the whole time because my phone it just said resume call for whatever reason. But so
Okay, you want me to repeat it?
yeah. If you want to run that back, I'm sorry about
All right,
interrupting your
cool.
flow
No,
there.
no worries. No worries. So basically, my posts are not to interfere with anybody's feelings or how they're going about their day. I'm not following people's pages to make somebody angry. I'm not talking to anybody indirectly. I'm just posting on my page so that people can understand what I've been through so they don't have to go through it themselves. My posts are strictly for the community. Therefore, and run off of and just know what's going on out here and understand that I'm not hating on nobody. I'm not following somebody's page to grab something from what you've been through and talk shit about it. That's not it at all. I love everybody in this community and all my followers that are following me. Y'all are feeding my family, man.
Yeah, you're
And
right. They're making you that 6 to 1,000 a month.
yeah, so it's never towards anybody. I never want any type of beef or drama with anybody. That's not what I'm. That's not what I started doing these dogs for. You know what I mean? That's just not who I am. I'm in here to give the spill out for people so they can understand what's really going on out here, and they can not get scammed, hoodwinked, or screwed out of a dog or a stud fee or a lock-in or anything like that. It's so people can understand what's really going on out here and how to market the correct way without having to pay somebody for the information. Anybody can get in my inbox and ask me anything, and I'm gonna tell you it straight up. If I don't respond, don't take it as I don't fuck with you. Just hit me up again because I do electrical work. I run a print shop. You know, I'm going to baseball games with my kids. I'm making sure my wife's good, taking her out to eat, trying to give her as much attention as I can, which I probably don't give her enough. But you know what I'm saying? There's things I got to work on as a man as well. But one thing I don't need to work on is trolling and hating on other people because I don't do that.
Yeah, it's too much. It's a waste of energy. It don't accomplish
Yeah.
nothing.
No,
Well,
it don't.
all right, Blake. Well, man, I appreciate your time. And hey, all bullshit aside, we'll have you back, man. I'll find a topic or hit you up and see what you think about stuff from time to time. And if you want to, we'll come talk about it again.
Yeah, man, definitely tap in with my people, man. I got some people that would love to get on this with y'all. You should definitely look up Ace Boogie, man. He's got a lot of good
Oh, I'm
information
friends
to
with
talk
Ace
about.
Boogie
Yeah,
on
That's my
Facebook.
partner, man. Yeah.
yeah, man, definitely hit him up. Get on the line with him. Get into conversation with him as well. Even my kennel partner Lacey, man, she's not new, but she's somewhat new in this, and she has been through a lot already in the show ring and with these dogs, so she has a
Hey,
lot of good information as
listen,
well.
I worked in the oil field for 25 years, and I'm gonna just tell you right now, I know from firsthand experience, it don't matter if you've been here 10 years or 10 minutes. Somebody that's been in the game just 10 minutes may know something that somebody that's been in it 10 years don't. So you
Yep.
don't discount somebody just because of their
Nope.
experience.
There's many tricks of the trade, and sometimes those tricks of the trade are learned by doing years of the trade.
Exactly, and some of it's about learning because you read some new shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So, well, all right, man. Well, I'm gonna let you go, and like I said, I'll touch. Hey, if you'll, I know I got Ace Boogie's. I know I can talk to. If you said Lacey, if you'll send me her handle or her
Yeah.
Facebook or a link or something.
It's literally their names on Facebook, and it's Brothers Bulldogs, and then Lacey is Caked Up Bullies. But I'll send it to you for
Caked up
sure.
bullies. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm old. I got a horrible memory.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey man, appreciate it. Go spend some time with your old lady. And
Yeah, no, I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you for
ah,
having
you're
me on.
welcome. You're welcome,
I
man.
love I love hearing about that I'm getting an interview or getting to be on some type of podcast or something like that. It means I'm doing something right.
Hey
So,
man, we gonna get you out there to all 17 listeners. I promise.
hey man, it'll turn up from there
Yeah,
because
I,
I'll
kn- I
definitely be
know, right?
sharing it.
I know, but it'll always be 17. That's all I'm gonna ever say. If
Hey, anytime I get on live, there's anywhere from 12 to 45 people that are watching always,
it just
and
depends
it
on
just
how
depends on the
how it
day.
just depends on how what the festivity level of your live is. That's what it is. The topic, the
Yeah,
topic
and then
festivity.
let me leave y'all with this real quick. I asked ChatGPT, what are the odds of becoming a top breeder in the dog game, and what are the odds of becoming a NFL athlete straight out of college? The odds of becoming an NFL athlete straight out of college are higher than it is to become a top breeder in the dog game. I'm gonna leave everybody with that.
There you go. All
So it's
right.
a 1 to 5% chance that you'll be a top breeder. Just so y'all know, have fun out there.
There you go. All right. Thank you, Blake. Thank you for your time.
No problem.
All right.
Appreciate it.
We're going to get out of here.
Welcome inside the kennel, the heartbeat of the dog game, where real breeders break down real experiences, and the experts drop the knowledge you can't Google. We talking structure, bloodlines, nutrition, training, wins, losses, and everything that makes champions in and out of the ring. This is for the ones who live it, breathe it, and build it, one lit at a time. Your host, Kevin Ben and Roderick. Lock in.